My life lost meaning. Again, I got obsessed with my nose. I felt sure that it looked operated on and strange. I avoided socializing, which doesn't sound like it was really new. I asked all my friends whether they had noticed anything weird about my nose, and no one had. I remember wanting to drown myself when I went to the beach. So you had very strong, this self-hatred, this feeling you were evil, really made you turn on yourself as well in the same way. I felt my nose looked shapeless, short, and snubby. Then I had another surgery. I remember catching a glimpse of myself after the bandages were removed and noticing a lot of nostril, which is what you had talked about to me when and you weren't imagining it. That was the interesting thing for me as I read all this literature is that plastic surgeons see a different group of patients with BDD characteristics that mental health people do. Their criteria start off with the number one criterion is that the thing the person is upset about has to be imaginary or perceived or slight. In other words, something nobody can see but the patient. But originally, you had a bump on your nose. That was a real problem. Many people want surgery for that. Not everybody. When you came to me, the nostril deformity that you had was perfectly real. It wasn't imaginary. So this is where the idea of BDD as it's defined in mental health doesn't always help plastic surgeons, because we see people with real objective imperfections that we operate on, and they get worse instead of better. So in the plastic surgery universe, the person who's obsessed with a feature and perennially unhappy and not helped by surgery, and often depressed, gone through other surgeries but still not happy, that's the one that drains the staff, calling all the time, taking extra visits, needing extra visits. To the plastic surgeon, that's what plastic surgeons call BDD. But it really wouldn't fit with the real diagnosis in mental health. That's why I think my view is that the body dysmorphic disorder is a spectrum, from people with no deformity to people with very obvious imperfections, crookedness, no breathing, bump, twisted nose from trauma. But what's underlying the desire for surgery is not necessarily the shape of the nose, but the meaning of the deformity to the patient, the meaning of that body part to the patient. And for you, a lot of it was tied up in the way your stepfather had treated you and pointed that out to you and kept hammering you until you gave in.